When Arthur Conan Doyle was writing Sherlock Holmes, he killed off Sherlock, who was wrestling on the cliff at Reichenbach Falls with Moriarty, plunged into the icy waters below and died. And there was such an outcry that Conan Doyle had to bring Sherlock Holmes back. Now, imagine if Holmes and Watson were real people and Conan Doyle was a conduit of his great friend Watson to get stories out to the public. This is where I started, in Over My Dead Body. The idea is that Holmes actually did plunge into the waters off Reichenbach Falls with Moriarty, and his great friend Watson recovered the body the next day. But because of the freezing waters, he wondered, could Holmes be somehow intact? And so he preserves Holmes in the icy waters in a little cavern and tries to revive Sherlock Holmes for the next 30 odd years of his life, until finally he gives up in frustration. But fast forward to 2020 and Georgette Watson, the great-great-granddaughter of John Watson, is a cryogenicist. She's working on reviving people who have had icy deaths, and she finds his journal and the fact that there's a body. She doesn't know who the body is, and she doesn't believe that Watson and Holmes are real. But she goes to Switzerland and she finds the body there and revives it, and it turns out to be Sherlock Holmes. So now 2020 in New York City, Georgette Watson, a scientist who does a bit of consulting work for the NYPD, finds that she's revived the greatest detective of all time. Moreover, there's a serial killer in New York at the time. And what does Holmes want to do? Well, he wants to solve the case. This is a story that brings Sherlock Holmes back from the dead from 1891 to 2020 and places him in New York City with Georgette Watson, where the two of them can try and track down a serial killer. And things evolve from there.